And especially, I didn't think he was maybe getting better. I just saw that he was out doing stuff a lot more. Like he was.
Yeah, I assumed he was better because of that.
He played a concert on Saturday.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah. Well, according to his Instagram, I mean, on his Instagram, it was like Saturday, like Sunday, he posted a I don't. Anyway, he was playing a concert.
That's awesome. Yeah, now that it all has happened, I think it was probably because he knew that he might not, it might not go so well. So he was trying to enjoy everything for one last time, which is badass, man.
You get stomach cancer, you gotta you gotta know that the end is, somewhere in the future. He looked rough, but kudos to him for, getting out there. You know what I'm saying? He didn't it didn't seem like anyway. Obviously, there's no way to know, but it didn't seem like he just sat in self-pity.
Hell no.
He got out there and was doing the thing.
Yeah. What's that that song he did about going for a walk, get a little air? That song has been in my head all morning.
Oh, yeah.
Time that I make time for that is what it's called.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yep. Man.
So
another freaking just a jam. So many jams.
Should have been a cowboy. Like what?
That was on my list. Yeah, should have been a cowboy is like ingrained into my soul.
Same.
Yeah.
Same, man.
So many good ones. So many good ones. That's a bummer, man.
It is.
Joe Diffie a couple years ago. John Prine.
Man, yeah, it's been a rough couple of years for country music.
We're getting older. We're getting older.
That we are, man. That we are. He was 62, and I had a weird thought, and I was like, I'd be over halfway through. I'm over halfway through that, if that was the age that all happened, and that's terrifying to me.
Yeah.
So kind of just makes it real, puts it all into perspective about what really is important in life and whether or not we're actually doing those things. And it's really easy to get away from those things in today's world.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but anyways, how are you guys doing this morning?
Brighten it up a little bit.
Yeah.
We're good. I'm good anyway. I mean, I can't speak for Paul. He looks good. A little tired, but we're
I'm a little sore actually. So I know a few weeks ago I talked about going on a kind of a hiatus. From normal working out, so to speak. I was just doing some mobility, and it was really like I kind of had like a game plan for my mobility throughout that time, but it was really more or less just I'm gonna do what feels good today. And so I did 2 weeks of that, and then yesterday was my first workout back, and felt really good, but definitely awesome. A little sore from it.
Oh yeah, but body's gonna be like, what is going on? But thank you for doing this is awesome.
Yeah, sore in all the right places, so.
I don't know, that sounded awesome. Dirty, but we'll keep moving on.
Real dirty.
Man. But the fun thing is, like, once you get back to it, your body adapts so quick. You start to see aesthetically your muscles growing, kind of looking fuller already in a week. So you get a couple workouts in, and it's always encouraging to me because it just fires me up. Like, okay, I didn't lose everything. I'm good to go. Let's get back after it. That's awesome, man.
Especially like, when you take a big part of, I was just going to say, like, to follow that up, like a big part of that, like if you are going to go on a break or something, is to stick with the other things, the other factors that go into preserving or building muscle mass. So like keeping on your nutrition, continue to take creatine every day, like those types of things help preserve muscle mass when you aren't on when you're not going to have time for the gym every day.
Yeah. Can we please talk about that post I sent you guys the other day? About
which one?
About Cam Haynes' son.
Oh,
saying he was no longer natty because he was using creatine. And it just made me laugh really hard. Like really, really hard, man. Because I'm expecting this post about I've been blasted, tren and deca and testosterone or whatever. Like I'm expecting him to come out and still then I wouldn't judge the guy. Like do what you do, whatever you want to do. no matter what, if you blasted Tren and Deca, you still got to put in the work to see the results. You don't just go take steroids and then all of a sudden you get jacked. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
If you didn't work out, you'd probably just get fat and your balls would get smaller. So it would be like not a win. But he made a post, and I follow him. I think him and his dad are awesome. I obviously love what they're about, just the grind and getting after it. And Cam Haynes' story is really cool, but I've been following his son, just broke the record for the most pull-ups in 24 hours, I think, which is it was pretty crazy.
It was like 8,000 something, I think, too.
Unreal.
It's an insane amount of pull-ups. And him and another guy over in Europe, I think, they're going back and forth. They keep breaking each other's record every couple months.
I would pick one that I'd be like, no one else is going to try this for a very long time.
Yeah.
But anyways, he made a post about saying that he had to come clean about something and that he was no longer all natural and that he was taking creatine. And what I think he means by that is he hadn't taken any supplements at all before. He'd been just paying attention to nutrition, maybe taking protein. I don't know. But I thought it was a good post in the sense that it brought creatine to the forefront. And I thought it was a bad post in the sense that it demonized creatine a little bit and making it seem like you're taking steroids if you take creatine, because that is such bullshit. And go ahead.
I have to read it again, but I would imagine that he was probably joking.
Mm-hmm.
You would have to be, right? You would think that he would absolutely have to be,
because him and some of his buddies, like, they go back and forth on there, like, even in the comment section, like, he'll be like his friends will call him out and be like, "Oh, you're not natty, dude, you're taking Tren," and then like other people like, "No, he's not," and they're like, "Just like chill out." Just causing his neighbor. We're just friends.
We can't appreciate the fact that it is extremely impressive, his physique and the things that he's accomplished without even taking something as, as little as creatine. You know what I'm saying? If he is indeed like, having just started that sometime in the recent past, like, man, that's impressive, because I think about anybody, general population, that starts resistance training and wants to get after it. What do they usually ask you within the first 2 weeks? What supplement should I be taking? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it's like, so anyway, I mean, obviously I think there's probably some satire there, but I mean, if he is, just starting within the last couple of weeks, like, it's impressive, honestly.
Yeah. But
just
like,
get after it.
To kind of clear the air, creatine is 100% natural.
Yes.
So if you're listening to this and you're questioning, creatine is totally natural. You get it through your red meat. Mainly. And if there's a guy that's probably getting his creatine through natural sources anyway every day, it's gonna be the Haynes family. I'm assuming that they're eating enough elk meat throughout the day that they're probably getting pretty dang close to the creatine allotment that is optimal. For anybody that's not eating 4 pounds of red meat a day, 5 grams of creatine will do a world of wonder for you.
Do the trick.
Yeah. I'm just going to say that I'm going to guarantee nobody's eating 4 pounds of red meat that listens to this. That is
probably not.
No.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
I know some people that I don't know them, but I follow some, like bodybuilder type influencers on social media or whatever. They definitely do.
I don't. It's not impossible, but we start thinking about. I'm just thinking about the general person that we talk to on a daily basis about training and about nutrition. You say, how much are you eating a day? And 16 ounces of meat in a day is a lot for them. That's 1 pound of meat.
They're eating 2 meals.
Yeah,
maybe. You know what I'm saying? Most people.
That. Yeah, exactly. So it's just not feasible. That's why creatine is a great option for supplementation. It's 100% natural, and turns out, as a rodeo athlete, in an energy system sense, we're using creatine phosphate a lot.
Yeah.
Like, we need it in our system. So go ahead.
It's the most researched, and it's one of the cheapest supplements out there, and it's effective, right? You can't mess it up. It's creatine monohydrate. You're not going to go, if you go look at the label, there's not a bunch of ingredients. You're not going to find, typically speaking, you're not going to find a company that's got a bunch of filler junk in there, right? Like you can with protein and whatnot. I mean, it's a no-brainer. For $25 or $30 a month, you can supplement with creatine, and it is something that is actually going to impact your performance. Now, It's not a supplement, which I don't know that there's very many of them out there at all, but it's not a supplement in which you're going to take for a week. And then you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I lived without creatine. I feel so much better and different. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not necessarily going to notice the benefits, but from a scientific standpoint, it 100% is beneficial for the general population for sure. But rodeo athletes, especially because of the energy systems that we're using, as you brought up, like it's a no brainer without a doubt.
And girls and guys.
Oh
yes.
yes,
everybody.
Yes,
everybody. It does not matter. Even ages. There's more research coming out. It's always tough to do research, like, in certain communities, like, with pregnancy or with minors. But there's starting even research to come out that says that it's even safe for
baby formula
for other groups.
Put it in the formula,
baby formula.
Put it in that baby formula.
Don't tell CPS, but I'm jacking my baby with creatine in her.
I've been putting it in my wife's coffee in the morning. I'm not telling her because she won't take it on her own. So I've been drugging her with creatine every morning.
Oh, you really have?
And I did tell her. I did tell her. Let's be fair. I did tell her, and she's okay with it. But yeah, I've been putting it in her. But the problem is that when I'm not home, she's not going to take it on her own. So she's super inconsistent, which is, it's null and void at that point in time. So the thing about it, you have to be consistent.
Heather's actually been taking it really consistently for the last 3 weeks. And so that last canister that I bought, it ran out a lot faster than what the previous ones have been taken.
Yep.
And so on Saturday, I ran out of creatine and I was kind of bummed. And I was like, dang, I'm either going to have to go to the store. I got on First Form's website and I just ordered theirs because I like the consistency of theirs the best. But I was like, man, that won't be here for a few days. I'll have to run to the store and get some more. And then on Monday, I got a package on my doorstep and it was from Sasquatch. And he sent me a hat and a canister of creatine. And I was like so excited.
That's
I was
awesome.
like, bro, you have no
awesome.
idea how much this meant to me, because I literally just ran out, and like that was the forefront of my thoughts for like half the day. It was like, oh, I got to go to the store and get creatine.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
He saved me a trip.
Good for old Sasquatch. Cool. Him and I just saw him and Tyler Mansell were up in Iowa somewhere at a bullfight, and they took home 1 and 2.
Yep.
Yeah, super cool.
Yeah, that's the second Bulls, Bands, and Barrel that Sasquatch has been second place by like 1 point at, and he was behind Tyler by like half a point this last time. So
I just love seeing our guys, man, putting in the work.
Get one of them one time.
It paying off for them. It's so cool. It's the best part of what we do, is even if it's not someone that we work with that competes in something, just seeing the good results and how people feel, and life's getting better, which is so cool. You see a total transformation, not just in the gym, but outside the gym too. The way someone walks around, the confidence levels that they're showing, just about everyday life. It's badass. Hey, I wanted to announce real quick. We talked about a new sponsor joining, and they had been with us in the past a little bit, but they are with us again and all about it. Got to thank Colorado Craft Beef has just signed on. They are doing some really cool stuff, y'all. You can use our discount code Champion Living, all one word, not case sensitive. Going to save you 10% on any Colorado Craft Beef. Go to coloradocraftbeef.com. Guys, they just released beef sticks, and they are the bomb. Like the best thing ever. They have jalapeno smoked, a couple different flavors. Here's the cool thing about them is the same way they do their regular beef, dry aged for 21 days. They do that with the beef stick beef as well.
Nice.
Yeah. No nitrates. I'm going to have macros on them shortly. Like they just released them. So we don't have the official macronutrients on them yet, but those will be coming soon. These are a great thing to have around for protein. We were just talking about you have to eat 4 pounds of red meat in a day to get your dose of creatine. Well, if you're not taking creatine and you do need to increase your red meat intake, this beef is the best you can get, hands down. And the fact of the matter is, going to a grocery store these days just isn't as trustworthy as it used to be. We don't know what's being put into those animals before they're harvested. We don't know, we don't know anything about them. We don't know if that is being grown in a lab. Who knows? And just for the record, it's not being grown in a lab, but I'm just being,
not yet, maybe.
Yeah, we have no idea.
They might try and sneak that in there soon.
Exactly. Exactly. Probably. But this is a great way to get high quality beef and support American ranchers, because another side note is most of the beef that you're getting in stores is not coming from us. So check them out, coloradocraftbeef.com. Super stoked to have them on board. They're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff with us over this next year. So you guys stay tuned for all of that. Guys, I've been like eating them one for breakfast because it's just so easy to get the protein in, and I'm going to make that a staple for me. It's just going to be part of my breakfast from now on, and probably a snack.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to order some of those. I've been, because the stomach flu has been just rearing its ugly head for like a month in our house. I have like dramatically changed my diet. Yeah, I am just going down to everything. I mean, I've lost a good bit of weight because I'm only eating real food. Like, I'm not eating anything processed. Like, I've gotten rid of, and not that I'm not demonizing them in any way, shape, or form, but I'm getting rid of, like, breads and pasta and rice and stuff for the time being. Yeah. And I'm just kind of like going to vegetables, fruits, like red meat, eggs, that kind of stuff.
What are you doing for your carbs? Fruit?
Fruit and vegetables, like a lot of vegetables. I mean, that's really about like where I'm at. If you have suggestions, I'll take them, because I am like steadily, but this is not like a long-term solution for me. I'm just gonna go for probably a week or two here, and keeping my protein intake up, but just let everything hopefully reset a little bit. And then I'll slowly start to add in, like, because I usually would have, like, 2 slices of toast or a bagel first thing in the morning with some honey, like get some carbs like right away. Like, I can go into my workout a little while later, like feel pretty good. I'll have protein powder and oatmeal later on in the day and get a good boost of carbs there. I mean, I would consume anywhere between 350 and 425 grams of carbs on a daily basis up until about 2 weeks ago. And I've gone down to about 150 grams of carbs, because that's about all the apples I can eat. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, it's been a pretty different, but so far I'm only like 3 days in, but so far I'm feeling, much, much better. My stomach's feeling better, like adjusting to everything. And then I'll just slowly start to add stuff back in, just to kind of see. So I say that to say that I'm going to have to hit up Colorado Craft Beef and get those. I'm struggling with. I've got eggs and some sort of chicken or tuna or steak or something like that as far as protein's concerned. But I never knew how much I relied on my like protein shake after a workout, and my protein supplement, in like the protein powder and oatmeal and stuff to get my protein goals. And so I think this is like, it's frustrating, because I feel like I'm not maintaining my weight and staying, like keeping, which I am, but it's good for me. It's a season of life that I definitely have needed for a long time and just put off. So
yeah, well, sometimes when you get a real bad stomach bug like that, like it messes up your gut biome too. And so like I had to do an elimination diet after, I had that one a couple of years ago, and then when I cut things out and start adding back in, I realized that I no longer have what it takes to digest raw vegetables.
Yep.
And so like, my issues didn't go away after the stomach bug, after it was gone. Like my stomach was still messed up, and I had to do the same thing that you're doing right now.
Yep. Yep, just kind of trying to figure it out one day at a time. It's been good so far. Been feeling good. It is very difficult when you eliminate all those things. It is very, very difficult to eat enough, and that just goes.
You got to prep a shitload, dude.
It's a lot of food prep and Lacey. We got 5 or 6 chicken breasts in the crock pot right now, and she's gonna shred up for me and just have in the fridge.
You need to get heavy fat meat, bro. Like you need to get beef, pork. Like
we've got some.
If you're eating chicken, I'd be adding whole butter to it, like something fattening to it, because chicken ain't gonna do it if you're not eating. Like it just
we've got that, and she got a bunch of ground turkey and a bunch of ground beef to throw in there, and then she's got some steak. So we're kind of like, she's gonna make up a couple different meats, and then a bunch of different veggies, and I can kind of pick and choose, and sweet potatoes and whatnot, and kind of make some meals this week. So anyway, it is difficult.
I've been really intrigued by carnivore and the carnivore diet, and I can't do the whole thing, like just meat only. That wouldn't, I know that it's not sustainable for me. But I've been doing a little research, and there's lots of variations you can do of it. The meat and fruit variation is kind of where I've been headed. That being said, I've been having my yogurt every day, which has a little bit of carbohydrates in it. And I have been having my bagel in the morning with peanut butter, just because it's part of my ritual, something easy to eat. But besides that, I haven't had any bread or rice. I've been doing meat and fruit only for lunch, dinner, all the meals. And like in breakfast, it's a lot of protein and fat. So eggs, bacon, avocado, and I'm either having grapes or apples. Lunch, I'm having beef or elk. If I'm having elk, I'm cooking it in a lot of butter or ghee, and like real butter, not like margarine.
Yep.
Olive oil, something like that to get more fat on it. But I will say, I've been doing this for a long time. I've been tracking my macros. I've messed around. I've eaten at lots of different phases of my life as a competitive CrossFit athlete to rodeo to here now as just a normal guy. And I've always had a hard time getting my protein. Like you, I was constantly powder, supplements, anything I could add to hit those goals. And what I noticed was, I think because our body enjoys those carbs so much, especially the refined ones, I get so full on those before I could get all my protein in that I just wouldn't. I'd end up underserving my protein source and overserving on carbs, but not enough to hurt me or anything. But now that I'm eating only fruit and meat for the most part, avocado, dude, I'm full. Like I can eat a lot of protein. I get a lot of protein in. I'm fuller longer. This is like week 2 of doing this, minus my little. I had 3 days in Oklahoma for the clinic, so things changed there. But man, I'm feeling better. I'm feeling good. My HRVs even increased a little bit. Mental clarity, I think, is the biggest thing that I'm feeling. I feel so much clearer in my head. Brain fog, all that is kind of gone. I don't think this is for everybody, but it's just something I've been playing with. So if you are someone that's interested in it, yeah, it's a tool for sure. But do your research. Like you got to research it. It's not just as simple as going to eat meat. Like you got to do your macros for it. You have to figure out what's appropriate for your intake every day. But it's always worth trying. And you can always go back to what you know works. But I'm just kind of trying to try something new, and I'm enjoying it. And we have enough meat to do it, which is cool.
That's the hard part is having enough meat to be able to do it with, with your lifestyle and hunting and whatnot. I mean, you've been able to stack up quite a good bit, and we just, we're just not there. And so that's been a little bit of a struggle on our end is just having enough. But anyway, like you said, just having that experience, right? Like you doing it now, it's something that you have experience with, and it's something that the effects that it's done for you. So just because it's done something for you doesn't mean that it will do it for other people, for sure. But it is a tool that you can add to your tool belt of something that you have experience in personally, that you've gone through the difficulties, right? And the challenges, the struggles, the benefits that you can use with clients. And you've also done the research, which is the most important part. So now you know where to direct people and guide people. And it just makes you a more versatile coach and being able to help people that way. Not that you couldn't have helped them like that before, but now you have the personal experience to go with it, which is helpful.
Yeah. So. Super cool. What else are we talking about today?
It's a great question.
We've got all
we're doing gains on the go.
How to maintain your fitness on the go.
Nice. Traveling. That's appropriate. I just got back. Logan just got back. We've had to maintain our fitness over the last 12 weeks.
Several months
on the road. Yeah. So
since 2021.
Yeah. Pretty much. So I could tell you it's real. It's tough. It's tough to be consistent on the road. It's tough to stay fit on the road. It is not impossible though. And it takes just a little bit of planning and dedication to your goals. And so as always, I would say the first thing when we're on the go and when we're traveling, and if you're having issues working out or whatever, there's no avoiding consistency. You have to find a way to be consistent with your training. Even if, you're staying at a hotel, do some homework. Look at the hotel. Does it have a gym? No, it does not. Don't wait to get to the gym and be bummed out or the hotel and see it doesn't have a gym and be upset. And then, I'm not going to do anything. When you look ahead, you can now say, okay, I can either do a body weight workout in my room. I need to find that and plan that ahead, or ask my coach to help me out do that ahead of time. Or I have a 24-hour fitness, or I have one of these memberships that all these gyms are everywhere throughout the country. I need a plan to be able to go to that gym during this time of the day while I'm at this hotel or whatever your schedule allows for. But you have to do something. Any exercise is going to be better than doing nothing. Okay. And so that's why also we're on the road. I see this with clients all the time. We have to do something very different than what they're used to doing. And it kind of throws them off. You have to be willing to embrace variety when we start hitting the road. You have to be able to just kind of do whatever you have time for, what you have the room for, and knock it out. What about even on busy days? I'll be locked down here at the desk and I know I'm not going to do anything. I'll plan little 5 or 10-minute segments where I just do a quick movement, whether it's air squats and push-ups, every minute on the minute for 30 seconds, nice and steady for quality reps, not even for intensity. I'll do that for 10 minutes. Cool. I just got a lot of reps in those movements. I might even have a little pump when I'm done with that. But I'm walking back to my desk feeling better, ready to roll.
Something I do is it's even less than that. Like I'll even just grab a pair of dumbbells and do 2 sets of curls or 2 sets of overhead press or 2 sets of RDLs like throughout the day, like at different points in the day. But I mean, all that is going to add up, over time, and it's at least getting something done. And so, kind of like I said earlier, when I took a little break from like structured workouts, I would do mobility every day, but then I would add in those, like say like, man, I just really feel like pressing overhead right now. I've got bands, I've got dumbbells, like I can press overhead, like do 2 sets. Like it doesn't have to be a lot, but you do those little bits throughout the day. And that's why when I'm traveling, 2 different sizes of resistance bands and a cross ball go in my backpack everywhere I go, no matter what. So like I always have at least some type of stability, no matter what the gym looks like at the hotel, or maybe we're not going to have a gym or whatever. Like I've always got my 2 bands and a lacrosse ball, so I always have certain exercises that I can fall back on.
I think that's a good point, is that like your training probably on the road, or at least mine does, and I'm sure Doug's does too. It looks much different than what it looks like normally for you, because you've packed some resistance bands. You might not have access to all that equipment. And what we know about the human body is that we've got to kind of change things up periodically, right? To continue to see adaptation. I mean, and if you're looking to see progress, adaptation is what you're looking for. And so, it's nice to be able to change up the style of training, and you can do so much with those resistance bands. You can almost anything you can do with dumbbells or a barbell, you can do with a set of resistance bands. You can do a variation of it. And so making sure that you're continuing to do something, even if, especially if it's different than what you might do in your normal routine at home. So, I mean, there's lots of different things, variations of yoga or calisthenics or something that you can do with no equipment, right? And for example, this past weekend, we went to Tupelo, Mississippi. I had the stomach bug Wednesday night, and most of like Thursday morning, I didn't feel real great. We left at about lunchtime. I started feeling a little bit better. We drove and got there that evening, Thursday evening. Well, Friday at 9 a.m., we're unloading the arena. I'm going to be packing 10-foot bow gates on my back, for the majority of the day. And I did not feel great. And I took, like Doug said earlier, and you said, I took 10 minutes and I just went through a little mobility flow. I didn't have resistance bands with me. I didn't have anything, but I just went through a few movements, dynamic in nature, right? I wasn't statically stretching. I was doing yoga push-ups and doing a few other things. And I just went through a 10-minute flow right before bed. And it was insane. The little bit of ache that I'd had in my low back from being sick the night before and then driving all day, gone. Like my hamstrings were really, really tight. They immediately felt better. My hips felt better. Everything felt better with just a little bit of that, yoga style mobility flow, whatever you want to call it. But the important thing is that as you're training, you change your training style up while you're gone. It is important to go back to what you normally do when you get home. Yesterday for us, we drove on Sunday. Monday was just a recovery day, right? I'm wrecked. I had 3.5 hours of sleep Saturday night after we got done tearing down and then driving home. Yesterday, Sunday night, I got 10.5 hours of sleep. Yesterday, I did what I needed to do work-wise, and that was about it, right? It was a recovery day. I'm not going to go lift weights because I know that my body's probably not in a spot in which it's ready to adapt from that. But today, we're back at it. And it's important that even if you have to get off the wagon for a weekend, because it's life And it's reasonable for you to change or to adapt or to go to something much different while you're on the road. Now that I'm back home, I'm not going to just be like, well, I felt pretty good when I just did 10 minutes. No, like I got progress. I got goals in mind. And so I'm going to get right back to it. And I'll actually feel better because of the break. You know what I'm saying? My numbers will probably go up. All that kind of stuff will go up because I was able to take a little bit of. So it is important that you return back to your traditional training as well.
Absolutely. And if you get into a variety of different training when you're on the road or during that travel time that is different than your normal, you're going to be better at doing your normal training when you get back to it. Variety is good. Variety is great. We need that in our lives, in our programs to keep getting adaptation. So it's important to keep doing that. So just to wrap all of this up, this is plain and simple, I think. For traveling, you have to kind of make that mind shift to progress over perfection, right? We need to just keep going. Nothing is going to be perfect when you're traveling. And that's just something you've got to get through your head right now. Perfection goes out the window when we're on the road. So start thinking about those little wins that you can get while you're traveling, those little 10-minute sessions we were just talking about, finding out if the hotel has a gym, finding out if you need to be finding another gym to go to on your stops, or if you're just going to do a 10 or 20-minute thing in the room. But either way, that's a win. That's checking it off the list. You're staying consistent. So again, that ties right with the mind shift for progress over perfection. The consistency is huge. We have to consistently be doing things. And like Logan said, he wasn't feeling good this week. He knew that going to work, he needed to get his body moving. He knew that obviously exercise wasn't going to be the best bet, so he did some mobility. Cool. Then he did go and stretch himself loading in. He knows that counts as exercise. And he knows he needs those next couple of days to recover. He's not going to sit there and go all ape shit in his head and say, I have to go work out right now because I'll lose everything. It just doesn't work like that. And truth be known, your body would thank you if you didn't. It needs to recover. It tells you what it needs. So he rested for 2 days and bam, we're back at it. He's feeling good and he's probably going to have better numbers than he's had in a couple of weeks because of the rest of the recovery. So listen to your body. It's really important. You guys got anything else to wrap this up?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. Just keep after it. Like we've said this whole time, even those trips are not an excuse. The last thing I'll say is that, like, if you've got a coach, which that's what you have a coach for, is for these moments. And it never fails that I'll have a client that misses workouts for a week. And then I text them and I'm like, hey, is everything okay? And they're like, oh, I forgot to tell you I was on vacation or I'm like, dude, we could have totally edited things and still made progress instead of just skipping a week. We could have done just a little bit here or there. And so make sure you're communicating. If you have a coach, communicate with your coach or come up with a game plan before you leave. Don't wait until you're there at your destination and then like, oh, well, what am I going to do? Come up with a game plan before. When are you driving? What downtime are you going to have? How long? Take equipment, plan ahead a little bit. But yeah, absolutely. I think that stay after it while you're on the road.
Absolutely. So if you're a rodeo athlete or someone just has a job that requires a lot of travel and you don't know what to do, please reach out to us. We can set up a free consultation. Go to our website, championlivingfitness.com, click the Become an Athlete form. Consultations are free. You get to talk to one of our coaches, get all your questions answered. We get to kind of talk about a plan that we would put together for you, and we pair you up with the right coach for your lifestyle, your situation, and your personality. So highly recommend that. Check us out. You can also download our app, any app store, the Apple App Store, Google Play Store, Champion Living Fitness. We have exercise programs for each event in rodeo, as well as some general workout plans for female functional fitness, body weight only. That's starting at $9.99 a month for the body weight plans and $19 a month for the sport-specific plans. Check them out. Get it downloaded. It's free to download. We've got some free content in there as well you guys can check out. Guys, we got to thank our sponsors. Beastmaster Rodeo, been with us since the beginning. Use our new discount code, ChampionLiving24 for this year. It's going to save you 10% at beastmasterrodeo.com. And we have got to thank Huey. We're always rocking Huey. Dude, even the Oklahoma State hats were Huey. He handed it to me, and I was like,
really?
Oh, yeah, that's freaking perfect. But you can use our discount code with Huey, Champion Living, all one word, not case sensitive either. You can go to getyourhuey.com. Check out everything they got. Guys, until next time, we'll catch you later.